our quintessential winds, and you're going to hear some great music from them and a great tale called the Bremerton Musicians. So I'll let you guys pick it up. I hope that introduction was okay.
Well, what we thought we would do first is demonstrate our instruments and what they sound like, so that when you hear them in the music, you say, oh wow, that's the flute, oh that's the bassoon, or that's the horn, or the best one, the clarinet, or the second best one, the oboe. Well, of course, you know, that depends on your opinion. But so what we're going to do very briefly, I'm going to play a little bit of the clarinet, so you know what, when you hear it, say, oh, that's the clarinet. Lowest note is, highest note is. So it has had a great range, and it's a very useful instrument because it played in Dixieland, jazz band, and orchestra, and small groups like this.
Hi guys, my name is Miss Rachel, and I play the flute. I have the regular flute, and I have its little sister or brother, whatever you call it. It's a piccolo. And how many of you have ever blown across a bottle before? Like maybe made a noise? Have you ever done that before?
Not me.
No? Yeah? So basically it's the same thing. You just blow right into it like this. Goes pretty high, doesn't it?
I got a whistle that makes glass sound.
Oh, nice!
That's the big one.
Piccolo goes really high, so you guys will be listening to, if you listen to really the high stuff in any of these songs, you're most likely to be listening to this.
Yeah, but Mommy, before we were born, her mommy, she was playing a flute, and Daddy was just playing a guitar. Just we.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if we're doing
Hi guys, how you doing? My name's Dwayne, and this is an oboe. It's similar to the clarinet, made out of wood, but it sounds quite different because of the reed that is on the instrument. That's the lowest note, and the highest note is. So not quite as large a range as the clarinet, but you ever hear the snake charmer, where the snake coming up? That's an oboe.
There's one in that.
My name is Steve. This is the French horn, also known as the horn. Sounds like this. Highest note is only dogs can hear.
I
The
got.
lowest note. That's the French horn.
I watched a live instruments once. A lot. I watched those a lot. And they make sounds all like
Yeah.
this.
You get to watch some more today.
And this one is bigger than you are and everything. Look at it, stands here. It's about 4 feet tall. If you stretch it out, it's even taller than I am. And I'm a big, big giant, 6'7". This is called the bassoon. It's a double reed like the oboe. It's my little brother over there.
No, it's littler than you.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
The bassoon sounds. Low note.
Oh, that's loud. That's louder than you could talk.
Yes, it is, isn't it? All right. So that's the bassoon. The unique thing about the bassoon, it's the only instrument that uses all the fingers, both of the thumbs I use.
Oh.
So I hope you enjoy everything.
One more.
Mommy.
No, introduce that instrument. This one. The tuning fork.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is what we call a tuning fork, and it vibrates. If you have it close to your ear after knocking on something to make it vibrate, you can hear it, and it gives an A sound for us to tune. And so I'll sit down and play an A straight from the tuning fork, and we can tune the group and they'll play.
And we will play something called The Entertainer. It was written by Scott Joplin at the turn of the 20th century, in the 1900s. And that's just so you kind of, before we get into the narrations, you kind of hear, okay, this is what the group sounds like, and oh, I recognize the bassoon and the oboe and the clarinet.
Would you mind maybe sitting at least?
Yep. That's The Entertainer, and that's what we sound like when we all play together. So now the fun begins. We're going to do two narrated pieces for you, and by narrated I mean we have somebody who's going to tell a story and we're going to play music in the background. So this is kind of a combination of literature and music, and the way she does it, theater. So I hope you enjoy. The first story is called The Unhappy Aardvark, and it's about an animal who has a hard time figuring out where dinner's coming.
Aardvark on one of my clothes.
Who's gonna be there? I thought we were gonna grab
Why are you
those.
looking
I gotta get my suitcase.
Uh,
like in your face like
I've got props in here. Do you know what props are?
No.
They're things that you can hold that help you tell your story.
I know what a prop is.
You know what a prop is? Did you ever hold one?
Oh yeah, one. A lot of my toys.
A lot of your toys.
Yeah, that makes a prop.
I'm going to introduce you to his name is Harvey, and he's an aardvark. Hello. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare him. And this is my score. It has the music and the words that I read from the characters. The Unhappy Aardvark by Paul Harris. There once was a very unhappy aardvark. He was very unhappy because, unlike all the other aardvarks, the ants and the termites were his friends, and he simply couldn't bring himself to eat them. So, as well as being very unhappy, he was also a very hungry aardvark.
particularly choice anthill, admiring his busy little friends and thinking, what am I going to eat? The days went by, and the unhappy aardvark became more unhappy and more hungry. Sometimes his ant and termite friends would come and chat with him, but they would never talk about food. One day, as he was sitting feeling unusually sad, a very distinguished gentleman came into the field and sat beside him. Noticing how sad the aardvark looked, the very distinguished gentleman asked what was wrong. The aardvark relighted his sad plate. My word! You are a lucky aardvark, said the very distinguished gentleman, because not only am I a very distinguished gentleman, but I am also the world's greatest veterinary surgeon, and I will give you a new mouth. The aardvark, who wasn't very rich, looked worried. Free of charge, of course, the veterinary surgeon added hastily. As they went off together, the aardvark began thinking of all the delicious food he would soon be able to eat. Still stop stuffing. Now, I just want to check you before we do the operation. Okay, your heart sounds good. Let's check your reflexes. Okay, now I just want to give you an injection so that it won't hurt, okay? There you go. The very next day, the erstwhile unhappy aardvark could be seen sitting beside his favorite anthill, enjoying strawberries and cream. He had become the happiest of aardvarks.
that's the story of the unhappy aardvark. The next story we're going to tell you and play music to is called The Brementown Musicians. And it's a story about 4 travelers who join up together and try to find a new life someplace else because things weren't going that well from the places they were leaving. So there are a couple of recurring themes in this that we thought we'd play so that you know, oh yeah, that's supposed to, I'll hear that again in here. So the first one is what we call the traveling theme, and that's when they all end up sort of traveling together a little bit. I gotta get the right. So 260 now. Yeah, not the traveling theme. And the second theme is, I guess, what we call, it's kind of like on the road, but it's gives you the idea of somebody who's in a hurry to get away from where they are and in a hurry to get where they're going. So we call this the running theme.
And you're gonna see who's running away when you listen to the story.
And now it's story time.
The Brementown Musicians, a Grimm's fairy tale with different instruments, edited by Catherine Sutton and Ruth Friedman, music by Gary Friedman. Once there was a donkey, and his owner was pleased because he'd been working for many long years carrying sacks to the mill, untiringly. But his strength was now failing, so that he was becoming less and less able to work. One day, the man decided that he would just stop feeding his donkey. The donkey sensed that there was a bad wind in the air, and he ran away, setting out on the road to Bremen. He thought that in Bremen he could become a town musician. When he had gone a little way, he found a hunting dog lying in the road who was panting as if he had just run long and hard. "Why are you panting so, Bowser?" asked the donkey. "Oh, because I am old," said the dog. "I'm getting weaker every day and I can't go hunting anymore." "My master wanted to kill me." master wanted to kill me, so I ran off. But now, how should I earn my keep? You know what? Said the donkey. I'm going to Bremen to become a town musician. Why don't you come along and we can become musicians there together? I'll play the horn and you can play the clarinet. Together. Before long, they came across a cat sitting by the side of the road making a face like 3 days of rainy weather. What's got into you, old Tom? Asked the donkey. Who can be cheerful when his life's at stake? Answered the cat. Who can be cheerful when his neck is at risk? I'm getting on in years and my teeth are dull, and I'd rather lie behind the stove and purr than run around to chase after mice. So my mistress wanted to drown me. My mistress wanted to drown me, but I took off. Good advice is scarce these days. Where should I go? Come with us to Bremen, said the donkey. After all, you often perform night music. The cat knew a good idea when he heard one and fell in with him. By and by, the 3 wanderers came to a farmyard where the rooster of the house was sitting on the gate crying with all his might. That cry is enough to pierce the heart, said the donkey. What's going on? I just announced the start of the day, but Sunday guests are coming tomorrow. And because of that, the lady of the house has no mercy and told the cook that she wants to eat me tomorrow as chicken soup. So since I'm supposed to let them cut off my head this evening, I'm going to cry as loud as I can at the top of my voice, as long as I can. said the donkey. Come away with us instead. We're going to Bremen. It's easier to find something better than death. You have a good voice, and it will sound very good when we make music together. And all four went off together. However, since they wouldn't be able to reach Bremen in one day, they decided to spend the night in a forest. The donkey and the dog lay down under a big tree, and the cat and the rooster took to the branches. The rooster flew right up to the top where it was safest for him. But before falling asleep, he looked around one last time in all four directions, and there caught sight of a little spark burning in the distance. He hollered down to his companions that there must be a house not too far away, because he could see a light shining. The donkey said, well, let's go there, because the lodging here is none too comfortable. The dog remarked that he'd do anything for a few bones with a little meat on them. So they set off in the direction of the little light, and as they approached, it glistened more brightly and became larger and larger until they came to a brightly lit house full of robbers. The donkey, being the tallest of them, approached the window and looked in.
What do you see, donkey?
Asked the rooster.
What do I see?
Answered the donkey. I see a table set with delicious things to eat and drink, and robbers sitting there enjoying themselves. That would be something for us, said the rooster. Oh, if only we were there, said the donkey. So the animals started thinking about how they might drive the robbers away. And at last, they came up with a plan. The donkey stood with his front feet on the window. The dog jumped on the donkey's back. The cat climbed up on top of the dog. And finally, the rooster flew up to the very top and sat on the cat's head. When they were all in place, at a signal from the rooster, they all began to make their music together. The donkey brayed. The dog barked. The cat meowed. And the rooster crowed. And when they all made their music together, there was a dreadful racket. You might want to cover your ears. Then all of a sudden, they crashed through the window, shattering the panes. terrible noise, thinking that a ghost must be after them, and fled terrified into the woods. When the four minstrels had sated themselves on all the good food and drink the robbers had left behind, they put up the light and looked for a place to sleep, each according to his nature and his desire. The donkey lay down outside under a manure pile, on a manure pile. The dog settled himself behind the door. The cat curled up on the hearth next to the worn ashes, and the rooster perched on a roof beam. And because they were exhausted from their long journey, they soon fell fast asleep. Of the morning, when the robbers saw from a distance that the light was no longer burning in the house and that everything was quiet, the captain said, "We shouldn't have let ourselves be scared off like that." He ordered one of them to go back and investigate the house. Found everything still, so he went in the kitchen to strike a light. But when he mistook the cat's glowing, fiery eyes for live coals and held a sulfur match next to them to make a flame, the cat didn't think this was at all funny and jumped into his face, spitting and scratching.
Ow!
Terrified, he ran toward the back door where the dog jumped up and bit him in the leg.
Ow!
And when he ran across the yard past the manure pile, the donkey gave him a healthy blow with his hind foot.
Ow!
And the rooster, who had been awakened by all the noise, cried down from his beam, "Bring the rascal here! Cock-a-doodle-doo! The robber raced back to his captain and the safety of the forest as fast as he could go. And he said, "Oh, you won't believe what I just went through. There's a horrible witch in there, and she blew on me and scratched her face with my face with her terrible long nails." Then a man by the door stabbed me in the leg with a knife. Then a black monster lying in the yard struck me with a wooden club. Then to top it all, there was a judge sitting up there on the roof, and he was calling out, "Bring the rascal here!" So I ran for my life. From that time on, the robbers never dared to go back to the house. But the four Bremen musicians settled in and made it their home. They really enjoyed themselves in their new home. well that they stayed there together for the rest of their lives. The end.
You were a very good audience. Thank you
You're
very
excellent.
much. Thank you so much for coming in on a nice day to
So,
share this with us.
before we play one last selection, do you have any questions, either about the instruments, about any of it? Yes, sweetie.
That was funny you said ow, ow, ow.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of my favorite parts too, actually. You did a good job with that.
Yeah, you got it. If I'd known, I would have called on you when it was time.
That would have
I
been
said,
fun.
yeah. Anybody else? Any questions about the instruments?
Did you have a question? You were asking me something, but I didn't hear. I couldn't hear because I was doing that. What was your question? Right at the end, you had a question. I think.
I forgot.
It's okay if you forgot. I know. I just thought you were asking me when I was.
So, who's gonna play what? Who's gonna play flute when they get a little older? Nobody?
No takers, really? Oh my goodness.
French horn? Or horn?
All right.
Yeah, okay.
Me too.
Clarinet?
Me too.
Yeah. Oh, you can play horn too, or are you gonna play them both?
Just gonna play me.
Both. There you go. Bassoon. Bassoon. Yeah. Oboe. Yeah, oboe, yeah, oboes. They're all fun. They take a little work, but they're all a lot of fun to play. So we're going to play, our last selection needs a little help from you, from the audience. Can you go, did I hear that? Okay, so you keep doing that, and we're going to play a piece by Henry Mancini. They did a rebroadcast or a retaping or whatever of the Pink Panther, the movie The Pink Panther, with, who was the, I can't remember what it was now, but anyway, we're going to play the theme from the Pink Panther, and we need you to go. Ready? Keep going. Louder.
Can you do it?
Louder. Okay. I'm waiting on him. wonderful audience. Thank you very much, and hope we come back and play for you again sometime.
Thank you for coming.
I have business cards that has our website on it, so if any of you want to write comments or anything, you can just, there's a contact page on the website. You can say you guys need more practice, or you know, send in the Marines or whatever you think.
Give your website.
I'm sorry?
Tell us what how to get a hold of you, your website or anything.
Yeah, the contact, we have the pages, one of the pages on our website is contact.
Okay.
So you can just,
Now, what is your website?
oh, that I'm gonna hand that.
No,
QEwins.com, it's that easy. Put it on the
television audience can't see your little cards.
Okay, yeah, so the website for Quintessential Wins is very simply QEwins.com. That's it, and then you can contact us through that website.
I'll give you a
Thank
card though.
you.
You don't. You're not.
Yeah, but this is for the.
Oh, for the TVD.
Right.
Yeah, because they're not gonna get cards.
Okay, sorry.
No cards for them.